Virgo, hello, Amanda here. Welcome to Unseen Hands Healing. This is going to be your November shift reading. So we're looking at the shape you're shifting out of this month, the shape you're shifting into, and what that shape shift looks and feels like. So Virgo, the image that's coming to me for you this month is the image of a hearth. Like the hearth in terms of a blazing, warming fireplace inside the home. But it's showing up in two ways. First, I saw you kicking back in an armchair, feet up by the fire, in a warm, cozy space, warming yourself by the fire and reading a book. It felt like a very solo experience. It's interesting because a similar image came through for Aries, but it was really different. It was like stepping into a home space where there was lots of community surrounding you, and like family surrounding you, whereas the Virgo image of that warm environment is more focused on the hearth, the blazing fire that is the centerpiece, the heart of the home. And it's a very solo image. It's you, which is so Virgo, it's this very like hermiting experience of you in your comfort space, next to the heart and the center of the home, which feels important. Reading or doing your own thing, being in your own space. The second way this is showing up is the idea of a hearth lit inside your very bones, so that not only is it part of this external environment that brings you comfort, that feeds you because you can cook over the hearth, not only is it like the center of a home environment for you, but it's also in your bones, this blazing heart center, this comfort, ability to feed yourself and sustain yourself. Like there's something, the hearth is also a symbol of devotion, which to me is deep Virgo energy. Devotional energy is so Virgoan. And it's this idea of Vesta, really, which I encourage you to look deeper into the mythology around Vesta, but it's Vesta as the goddess of the hearth, and keeping that flame burning is also an altar. Not only is it this hearth that has practical uses, but it is deeply devotional. A deeply devotional altar energy. I love it for you, Virgo. It's so good. Okay, so your cards. I've pre-pulled your cards from the El Goliath Tarot. I'm pre-pulling for Scorpio season because there's so much energy coming through. I need some time to sit with the cards. And I'm really excited to show you this shape shift. So you are shifting out of the Empress, which in this deck says the alchemical mother, and into the Three of Cups, which says the Trinity triangle. I mean, come on. This is gorgeous. This is so good. How I actually see this as, they look like the same bird family, the same bird skeleton motif happening here. The alchemical mother looks like you are about to give birth. There's a transparency that's happening since we can sort of get X-ray vision into this peacock's interior. There's something about a peacock being on display. And the fact that we have this X-ray vision or this transparency showing up, it feels like there's a transparency around something that you are releasing or something that you have been gestating inside of you, coming out into a more group or communal or relational experience, because we move from something inside of you into a more equal, external, communal exchange. It's now like multiple people have their hands on it kind of energy here. And the Three of Cups does talk about being in community, intimate community, friends, close family, people that you feel in tune with, at one with. You know, it's very coven energy, coming together to make magic, to channel something very specific that all of you are intending upon. That image came through for Cancer as well. But it's interesting too, because I saw you as this versus Aries, which was the more communal home image. You were very much a solo image in the home, and we're seeing that shift from perhaps something solo and internal into something external and communal. So I love that. And also I just want to say, Empress into the Three of Cups, this is gorgeous energy. The Empress has been nurturing something deeply sustainable, deeply abundant, and now it is being emotionally, especially, shared in connection with others in a very powerful way, especially because we've got this through line here. It's gorgeous. So taking something that has been sort of inside of you out into a shared experience. Now, what does this shapeshift look and feel like? We've got Judgment, the imprisoned bear, the Five of Wands, the jagged union, and the Seven of Pentacles, the rewarded frog. This came out for Sagittarius as well. So interesting, all these jagged edges. We've got the jagged edges of the swords that the bear is trying to fight their way through, the jagged edges of this cactus looking plant, and then the jagged edges of the Venus flytrap. Interesting. Venus. The Empress is Venus energy. In fact, you can see the Venus glyph right down there. I didn't even make that connection. Venus flytrap. This came through for Taurus, by the way. No, sorry. Sagittarius, excuse me. These experiences for me are experiences of comfort. The Empress, giving birth is not necessarily comfortable, but the actual gestation process is being in like a womb space, which feels like a nurturing, held space. The Empress talks about having everything you need, being surrounded by beauty and abundance and a beautiful harvest. You know, all of this energy is extremely comforting. Being in community with people that you love and feel deeply, intimately connected to, that's also very comforting. And so these are really comforting energies, your shapeshift. And the experience of it, though, Virgo, may not be as comfortable. It may be talking a lot about discomfort just because we're looking at such sharp, jagged edges. The bear is trying to fight its way through the discomfort of these swords. It's the imprisoned bear. Somehow this is also speaking to me of whatever this is trying to fight its way out of you. You know, it's like also the Eight of Swords is a internal mental experience of trying to break through perceived limitations. And so it's like it's almost like this is the little bear that's trying to kind of break through the surface of you, break up and out of you. And you are at the same time the bear inside of you that's trying to break out of you. You know, you're both the mother and the child, because it's the alchemical mother. It's this alchemical process of gestation, which now I think is ready for birth. And that birth process, not as comfortable. You know what I mean? Like there's a certain, I think that's actually what we're seeing. There's a certain happy nesting to this gestational energy of like creative development and all of this. And then there's the discomfort of birth, the discomfort of this release process, which is like sharp and painful and contracting, to try to allow this thing to leave the body, to leave your internal experience. It's interesting that a big catalyst for this is not only a mental breakthrough. You know, we're seeing this breaking through rigidity, which is being shown as ice. You know, busting through the ice in order to be freed from whatever has below the surface or trapped in the mind, wants to break through that frozen energy in order to, interesting that I got the hearth, you know, which would melt the ice, this sense of comfort and security that the fire is always blazing. You know, if the fire is always blazing, you will always be warm, you will always be fed. And putting that inside your very bones to help break through this frozen ice that would otherwise perhaps keep everything inside, it's like that's ready to break through. And the catalyst for this is this interesting jagged union energy. You know, the Five of Wands typically speaks to me of the messy part of the process of something. You know, it's like, it's very much part of the creative process. And we are looking at Venus here, who to me is one of the rulers of creating something beautiful or a creative process. And so, you know, it's like the uncomfortable part of the process where everything feels like it's never going, you know, I did theater for years, and there's always this dress rehearsal where you're going to have an audience in like 3 days and it always feels like it's not going to come together. Like there's no way this thing could gel and meld. And then what I'm actually, you know, that's what this feels like, is how is this ever going to unite? How is this ever going to become cohesive? It's just chaos. And then bam, somehow those sharp edges, those teeth actually end up fitting together to create this plant that is actually sustaining you. You know, it's like we see you as the frog here sitting on this plant and being able to live off of it. And it says the rewarded frog. The Seven of Pentacles does talk about reaping what you have sown. This is the rewards, the harvest, returning to you for all of your efforts, for all of your patience and all of the seeds you have planted along the way. And the rewards seem to be quite bountiful, especially in terms of making connections and relationships. And again, this coven energy is creating something quite magical. And it actually looks like they are sort of flying in a circle and turning a wheel. So that gives me this image of like creating change, creating great change. And that's what came through the Cancer reading for this, is working together to turn that wheel, working together to make a change, to have a clear intended effect. Through your relationships, again, emphasizing that it's time for this to come out of an internal solo experience and out into an external and relational, connective exchange that has such promise to bring you a real sense of being rewarded here for all of your efforts, even if the process this month feels quite jagged. Okay, wow, Virgo, what a reading. So I'm going to take this now into an extended reading, and I have an announcement that I'd like to share with you all about how Unseen Hands is expanding. So stick around. I'm going to chat with you a bit about that and how you can view your extended reading, where I'll use other decks, pull more cards, get more specific about this energy. So if you'd like to join me for that, stick around and hear me out, and then I'll send you over to your extended reading for November. Thanks for being here, Virgo, and good luck this Scorpio season. I am so excited to announce that Unseen Hands is expanding. My dear friends and fellow healing artists, Kevin and Kelsey, are joining me to form Unseen Hands, a healing arts collective. We want to deepen your monthly shift experience by adding in astrology and a creative guidebook to help you work through your monthly shift process and inspire you with different perspectives and different kinds of artistic viewpoints on these monthly shifts. So to view your extended shift reading, you can head over to unseenhandscollective.com, where we are offering you an opportunity to explore our new offerings. So head on over there and we will dive deeper into your shift together.